of Gender and Social Protection has successfully honored all legacy leave payment cycles for 2025 and before, reaching 1.5 million people. It has also ensured the full implementation of the Ghana School Feeding Program in over 12,000 public schools across all 261 districts of this country. Mr. Speaker, the number of beneficiary pupils under the school feeding program has increased from 3,801,491 for the 2023-2024 academic year to 4,231,059 for the 2024-25 academic year. This program is providing gainful employment to 34,000 caterers and cooks nationwide. Mr. Speaker, in the security sector, Ghana faces evolving security threats. Our troops, services, and agencies have, however, remained firmly committed to strengthening national peace and security, which underpin our democracy, development, and social cohesion. This commitment encompasses internal security operations, international peace support missions, strategic investment in restructuring and retooling and improvement in troops' welfare, recruitment, and capacity development. Mr. Speaker, two recent incidents are evidence of the increasing dangers we face as a nation. The killing of 8 of our compatriots who had gone to a neighboring country to purchase tomatoes, and just yesterday, an attack on Ghanaian fishermen in our waters by pirates reinforced the need for us to retool and adequately equip our security services. Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend the Ghana Armed Forces for conducting successful medical evacuation of our injured compatriots from Burkina Faso. I also commend the Ghana Navy and the Ghana Air Force, the National Security Council Secretariat, the Chief of Staff's Operations Team, the MP for Ewutu Senya, the Chief Fisherman and people of Senya Breku for the combined effort that successfully rescued all the stranded 71 fishermen who had been attacked by pirates. I've asked the National Security Coordinator to assist the affected fishermen and replace the stolen outboard motors and fishing gear. Mr. Speaker, the Armed Forces continues to play a key role in containing illegal small-scale mining through the deployment of river guards and support for the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat and assistance to special courts for swift prosecution of offenders. Mr. Speaker, during the year, the Ghana Armed Forces had 2,119 troops with requisite equipment deployed in various peacekeeping missions, reinforcing Ghana's reputation as a dependable and professional contributor to international peacekeeping operations. While Ghana continues to maintain an enviable reputation in international peacekeeping, we must note that many of these peacekeeping theaters where we have operated are winding down due to reduced budgets for UN peace support operations. And so as our troops return home, we must create opportunities for them to train, to remain active, and stay engaged. Mr. Speaker, beyond peacekeeping operations, Ghana continues to demonstrate its strong commitment to international solidarity, humanitarian assistance, and South-South cooperation. In December 2025, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in conjunction with the Ministry of Defense, deployed 54 personnel from our 14 Engineers Brigade to Jamaica to support that country with national reconstruction efforts following the devastation that was caused by Hurricane Melissa, which claimed over 40 lives. In recognition of the scale of the recovery effort and the good work our soldiers were doing in reconstructing the houses in Jamaica, government approved a request from the government of Jamaica asking us to extend the mandate of our soldiers there for another 90 days, which we approved. Mr. Speaker, to further improve operational readiness, the government will continue to invest in vital defense infrastructure and retooling. The construction of a forward operating base at Ezen-Libo, situated along the Western Maritime Corridor, is ongoing. This facility aims to boost maritime surveillance and better protect offshore oil and gas installations. The Northern Border Security Project, initiated to counter terrorism and transnational crime, is advancing decisively. This project constitutes the first line of defense against any infiltration and extremist threats coming from the Sahel, and it would significantly strengthen the surveillance of our northern border. Plans are well advanced to establish 2 new military barracks in Ejumako in the central region and in Dambai in the Oti region to address emerging security concerns and strengthen the presence of the state in these areas. To further support retooling efforts, agreements have been signed to procure and deliver 4 brand new Eurocopter helicopters and 1 jet for the Ghana Air Force, aimed at replacing the aging fleet and modernizing our air capabilities. The Ghana Armed Forces is carrying out a thorough overhaul of previously grounded aircraft, which involves replacing essential components and bringing them back into service. This aims to quickly restore their operational readiness and maximize our fleet availability. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to announce that I have further commissioned 50 new vehicles for the Ghana Armed Forces to enhance mobility and boost troop morale. It forms part of a broader program to retool the military and improve logistics across the services. Plans are underway to acquire 2 brand new offshore patrol vessels, armored personnel carriers, protective gear, ammunition, vehicles, and strategic drones and advanced communication systems to enhance the operational capability of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. We will also continue to prioritize human capital development within the armed forces. A progressive recruitment drive to increase the strength of the Ghana Armed Forces by 12,000 personnel over 4 years to support expansion and operational demands is ongoing. In line with the government's reset agenda, the recruitment process has been decentralized to regional capitals, with selected recruits reporting directly from their regions to training schools, marking a significant shift from the previous Accra-centered system. Mr. Speaker, on a very solemn note, I wish to express my condolences to the families of 6 of our young daughters who died during the stampede at the Elwak Stadium. May their memory be blessed and may they rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, following the revised gratuity regime that was introduced in 2020 under the stewardship of Honorable Nitiwu, extending service by 5 years, under Constitutional Instrument 129, arrears have accumulated. Nitiwu is my friend, don't worry. Arrears have accumulated, Mr. Speaker, because no budgetary provision was made over the 4 years that followed. When we leave politics, I and Nitiwu are going to the same place in the north. You go to Winneba. Don't worry, we are brothers. Mr. Speaker, this has resulted in over 1 billion Ghana cedis owed to approximately 3,000 personnel across all the different ranks. As part of our commitment to fairness and the resolution of long-standing legacy issues, the government will soon commence payment of gratuity arrears under CI 129. Honorable Nitiwu, we're solving the problem, so you won't worry about it again. Mr. Speaker, following engagements that we initiated by the current military high command with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Defense, a structured implementation plan has been agreed upon. This will bring closure to the issue that has been outstanding since 2020, and it will ensure that affected personnel receive their rightful entitlements. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Police Service has also received 40 armored vehicles and 100 pickup trucks to enhance their operations. Other security agencies such as the Fire, Prisons, Immigration, BNI, and Narcotics Control Commission will also be retooled to enhance their efficiency. Mr. Speaker, let me take this moment to commend the IGP and his men for the recent major successes they are chalking in bringing dangerous criminals to justice. The trust of the Ghanaian people in their police service is rising again. And I urge you to keep up the standard. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's foreign policy remains a central instrument for advancing our national development, for safeguarding our sovereignty, and projecting our values on the global stage. At a time when the global environment is characterized by profound geopolitical shifts, economic uncertainty, climate-related challenges, and evolving security concerns within our sub-region, government has taken deliberate steps to ensure that Ghana's engagement with the world is purposeful, strategic, and responsive to the needs of our people. In this regard, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has stepped up efforts to align Ghana's external relations with our domestic development priorities. Mr. Speaker, in West Africa, Ghana continues to pursue a policy of good neighborliness, solidarity, and constructive cooperation with all countries in the sub-region. We remain firmly committed to the vision of a peaceful, stable, prosperous, and integrated West Africa, grounded in mutual respect, dialogue, and collective responsibility. We must sustain engagement and deepen relations with our sister AES member states, particularly following their withdrawal from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Ghana believes that continued dialogue and cooperation are indispensable to regional stability and that disengagement only deepens our collective vulnerabilities. At the continental level, Ghana continues to play an active, principled, and forward-looking role in advancing the African Union's strategic priorities. Today, Ghana currently holds the following prestigious positions. We are AU champions on reparations. We are AU champions for African financial institutions. And Ghana is also the AU champion for gender equality and women's empowerment. Mr. Speaker, I'm humbled by my election as the first vice chairperson of the African Union at the 39th ordinary session. At the 39th ordinary session of the AU Assemblies of Heads of State and Government held recently in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Mr. Speaker, it is also gratifying to note that my colleague leaders in West Africa have declared me, John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Opposition. They have declared me unopposed by the grace of God, sole candidate for the position of chairperson of the African Union when the rotating chairmanship returns to West Africa in 2027. Mr. Speaker, during the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, I raised Ghana's voice to call for a comprehensive reset of the United Nations to better reflect the current realities and particularly the role of Africa in global governance and fairness in international financial systems. In line with our multilateral commitments, Ghana announced plans to table a United Nations resolution that recognizes the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity, and promoting an agenda of acknowledgement, reparative justice, and cultural restitution. Mr. Speaker, I'll formally present this resolution, which has been endorsed and adopted by the African Union unanimously, to the UN in March of this year for consideration by the UN General Assembly. Mr. Speaker, passports have never been easier to acquire than under this regime. Mr. Speaker, the Foreign Ministry of Foreign Affairs has established 7 new passport application centers in Upper East, Oti, Ahafo regions, Bono East, Northeast, my own region, Savannah, and the Western North region. Mr. Speaker, with this expansion, all 16 regional capitals now host passport application centers, marking a major milestone in the decentralization of passport services. Mr. Speaker, to address systemic delays, the ministry implemented a 24-hour passport production operation at the head office. This enabled the clearance of an inherited backlog of over 40,000 passport applications. As a result of these reforms, Ghana's passport administration now operates with zero backlog, guaranteeing passport delivery within 15 working days. If you like, try it. Apply for a new passport. Within 15 days, you will receive your passport. Mr. Speaker, to facilitate travel and boost tourism and ease business mobility, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs implemented a 5-day visa processing service across all Ghana's missions abroad. What this means is that anyone who applies for a visa will get the visa within 5 days. Concurrently, significant progress has been made in the design and procurement phase of a national e-visa platform with a targeted rollout plan for 2026. This means if you apply for visa, you apply online and the visa is approved online. You don't need to go to the Ghana embassy to apply. Ghana has also secured new visa waiver agreements with 11 countries to facilitate people-to-people exchange. It means for those 11 countries, Ghanaians don't need passports to go there. You just jump on the plane and appear there, and they will allow you in. Mr. Speaker, to highlight Ghana's ongoing commitments to international solidarity, we made humanitarian donations to Jamaica, Cuba, Sudan, and Palestine to support disaster relief and conflict-related crises. These donations amounted to millions of cedis and included food, medicine, clothing, cocoa products, blankets, and mattresses, and plastic buckets. Mr. Speaker, I'm also pleased to report that remittances from our relatives abroad, the Ghanaian diaspora, reached a historic high of $7.8 billion in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this is the largest annual inflow ever recorded in Ghana's history. This reflects not only confidence in the Ghanaian economy, but the enduring patriotism of our citizens living and working abroad. Mr. Speaker, these remittances they bring back home support households, they finance education, they build homes, they provide seed money for businesses, and best of all, they stabilize our foreign exchange position. In many respects, our diaspora has become one of the country's most reliable development partners. Without contracts, conditionalities, or fanfare, they are easily one of our most reliable development partners. We must intentionally ensure that citizenship rather than place of residence determines one's right to serve the Ghanaian Republic. Ghanaians worldwide who pledge allegiance to this country of theirs and make substantial contributions to its development should not be barred from active participation in public affairs, including the opportunity to hold public office, provided there are appropriate measures to ensure loyalty and accountability. Mr. Speaker, I'm personally in support of the bipartisan bill currently before this House, seeking to address this matter. And it is my hope that it will be passed expeditiously so that our compatriots abroad can participate in our public affairs. Mr. Speaker, youth development and empowerment are the core of everything we're trying to achieve. We're implementing many policies to develop our youth capacity and to create as many jobs as possible to address the major unemployment problem. All our youth activities and job creation programs are ongoing. In 2025, 10,887 young people were trained in entrepreneurship programs and job creation under the Ejumawura program. In 2026, an additional 10,000 young people will receive similar support under the program. The National Apprenticeship Program onboarded 14,000 young apprentices during the pilot phase, and they have started receiving their startup kits after passing out successfully. Training is ongoing across the regions, and when completed, the trainees will be certified by the Commission for TVET to facilitate their access to employment. Mr. Speaker, this year the target for the National Apprenticeship Program has been increased from 10,000 to 100,000 young people, offering many more young people the opportunity to acquire the skills needed for sustainable development. And as I said, when they pass out, they are giving a certificate by TVET to show that they have passed out and have the skill in whatever they learned. In 2025, 86,000 young people were engaged through the Youth Employment Agency, various employment modules under this agency. This year, I've directed the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment as a matter of urgency to review all the youth employment modules under the YEA to reduce duplication and ensure value for money. This is important so that we can channel the resources to the advantage of the teeming youth who are waiting for opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the National Service Authority has signed an MOU with the Ministry of Defense to commence military training for 10,000 National Service personnel in the 2025-2026 service year. And so our National Service personnel will receive call-ups to report at various military centers for training. Mr. Speaker, this was a program initiated by our late Minister for Defense of blessed memory, Dr. Edward Omani Boama, who was desirous of seeing it to full execution. I therefore charge the National Service Authority and the Ghana Armed Forces to bring life into the exercise for the benefit of the personnel and the training of our young people. Mr. Speaker, my government has launched a wide range of initiatives aimed at transforming Ghana's trade and agribusiness and industrial sectors to boost our competitiveness in export markets, encourage value addition, and generate employment for Ghana's large youth population. My recent visits with the hardworking Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to inaugurate new factories and initiate expansion works on factories has convinced me that Ghana is on the right track for industrial transformation. The ministry has begun implementing policies in the areas of textile and garment manufacturing, pharmaceuticals and vaccine manufacturing, automotive and components manufacturing, and contract farming and agro-processing. As a first step, we are collaborating with private sector to establish 3 new garment factories in Eastern Region, Central Region, and Bono East Region. This will create an estimated 27,000 jobs. Mr. Speaker, this government will fulfill its commitment to revive key state-owned enterprises. The ministry is in the process of sourcing strategic investors to operationalize the Volta Star Textiles Factory, the Commander Sugar Factory, the Pualugu Tomato Factory, the Zoarungu Meat Factory, and the Akosombo Textiles Limited. Ghana's non-traditional exports recorded a 27.04% growth in 2025, with total earnings of $4.87 billion, up from $3.83 billion in 2024. This reflects a very early impact of the Accelerated Exports Development Program, launched only last year, and demonstrates the continued resilience and expanding contribution of the non-traditional export sector to Ghana's export economy. Mr. Speaker, mining remains a cornerstone of Ghana's economic development, making substantial contributions to employment creation, export earnings, and government revenue. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the mining and quarrying subsector accounted for 17.4% of the overall 33.8% of industry's share of gross domestic product in 2025. It emerged as a leading contributor within the industrial sector. The sector generated export earnings of approximately 15.25 billion, accounting for 65.37% of Ghana's total export receipts, out of a total of 23.3 billion. Mr. Speaker, the abolition of value-added tax on mineral exploration activities is expected to significantly reduce upfront costs for investors, improve project economics, and stimulate increased greenfield and brownfield explorations across the country. The fight against galamsey remains complex and demands a multi-dimensional response that integrates strong enforcement, the application of technology, sound regulation, and active community participation. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport and Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ministry of Finance, has registered 1,808 pieces of earth-moving equipment at the ports, of which 1,033 have been fitted with trackers and are being tracked. The protection of our water bodies and forest reserves is ongoing with the deployment of 1,634 blue water guards across Western North Savannah, Upper West, Bono, Eastern Ashanti, Central, Volta, and Northern regions. This nationwide deployment aims to strengthen surveillance, improve rapid response, and enhance on-the-ground enforcement against illegal mining activities that threaten critical water bodies, forest ecosystems, and livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, NIMOS will maintain regular coordinated operations across all 21 identified hotspots to prevent re-entry of illegal miners into these reserves. While temporary deployments yielded positive results, they proved insufficient for sustained enforcement. Mr. Speaker, in the works housing and water subsector, these are vital pillars of Ghana's national development, shaping sustainable livelihoods through reliable water supply and affordable housing that enhance citizens' well-being. Sea defense works are ongoing. We've successfully completed works at Komenda, Ningo Pram, and Elmina. Together, these three projects have protected approximately 15 kilometers of our coastline and safeguarded lives and livelihoods and property. In March 2025, I visited Solakope, Agaveji, and Amutinu in the Ketu South municipality, where tidal waves had displaced thousands of residents. We made a firm commitment to address the devastation. Mr. Speaker, true to that promise, the contractor for the Phase 2 of the Blekusu Coastal Protection Works was awarded the contract, and in August last year, I officially cut short to commence the project. I'm pleased to inform this House that the project is currently 25% complete, and calm has already been restored along the coastline. Notwithstanding these actions, flooding remains a major infrastructural challenge in the country and a top priority for this government. A task force on flooding is in place and coordinating the national mitigation efforts against flooding. Ghana continues to grapple with housing deficits currently estimated at over 1.8 million units. Some significant strides have been made in the housing sector. In line with government's earlier commitments to complete all ongoing housing initiatives, we have successfully concluded the joint venture arrangements which we inherited for the completion of the Saglemi housing project. The Attorney General is reviewing all related documentation to finalize and commence the project. When these projects are finished, it will increase the number of housing stock available. The TDC in Ghana is also steadily advancing work on 800 housing units under the Akpong Affordable Housing Project at Tema Community 26. To position TDC Ghana as a key player in Ghana's housing industry, I performed a sword cutting ceremony last year for what they call the Oxygen City Housing Project in Ho of all places. That project seeks to address Ghana's housing deficit by developing 1,000 affordable housing units. We've also continued with our resettlement housing efforts for the victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage, with 251 of the planned 1,010 housing units in critical housing zones already under construction. Collectively, these initiatives demonstrate government's continued resolve to expand access to affordable housing, strengthen urban planning, and provide relief to affected communities. Mr. Speaker, renewable water resources are estimated at about 54 billion cubic meters, with over 70% derived from the Volta River, which is shared among 6 riparian nations. We're implementing key interventions to expand and improve water services nationwide. So the following urban water supply projects are at various stages of completion. The Keta Water Works, the Winchi Water Supply Project, Sekendita Krade Water Supply Project. And I'm happy to announce that Anyako has good, clean drinking water today. and the Community Water and Sanitation Agency will commission the project next week. It will also serve the island community of Seva. We will begin preparatory work.